So today we will discuss calculation of area of GNSS closed traverse. As you know earlier, the closed traverse is the area which interconnects the points between different points, and the enclosed area will result, and that enclosed area has to be calculated by particular method, that is coordinate method. So you have the coordinates, like as you know that using the graph paper, this is the origin and it represents easting value, this is x, and this is northing values that represents y axis, and this particular quadrant of the globe is represented by the northeastern quadrant of the globe. So here, if you have surveyed like this one is a closed traverse, you have surveyed earlier like this. If you surveyed uh, this particular traverse in the field, you can calculate the area enclosed by this traverse. Like this is the point A, point B, say for example this is point C, and point D and point E. So this is a pentagonal area, and this pentagonal area have to be calculated by the coordinate method, and you have found out the coordinate values of each and every points by your GNSS device earlier, and with those coordinate values you have to calculate the enclosed area of this particular traverse, that is A, B, C, D, E and A. So this is what we know, closed traverse, and the area can be calculated by the coordinate method. Now, the area calculation by coordinate method is the area of the traverse that is that is double area is equal to summation P minus summation Q. This is double area, and if you want actual area of the traverse, so actual area is actually the half of this summation P minus summation Q. Now what is summation P and summation Q? As you know, the point A, B, C, D and E, these are all the combinations of some coordinate values. Like A is represented by a certain value of x and a certain value of y. B is again is represented by certain value of x and certain value of y. Now C is again represented by certain value of x and a particular value of y. D is again is the combination of x and y, and E is again combination of x and y. Now what coordinate values represented A? This is, you can write here x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. Now here also you can write this is y1, y2, this is y3, y4 and y5. As we have 5 points, we have 5 combinations of coordinates. Now A is represented by, as you see from the diagram, A is represented by x1 and y3. So this is A. Now B is represented by x3, y5. What C represented by x5 and y4. D is represented by x4 and y1, as you see from the diagram. Now E is represented by x2 and y2. Now from coming to this equation, here summation P, what summation P is is summation P is equal to the sum of all the product of cross multiplications between x and y, and summation q is equal to, again this is sum of all the products of cross multiplications between y and x. So these two are important. Summation p is the product of cross multiplications of x and y, so it will start from x and then it is followed by y, and q is equal to summation of cross multiplications of starting from y and x. So it will be understood by a simple formula like this. Now, like this one, if you write this x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 and then again x1, because it is closed traverse and that therefore we have to copy the first coordinate value in the last coordinate value, because we have to close the traverse. So as the closing of the traverse is required, so therefore first coordinate has to be copied to the last coordinate value, and then y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 and again y1, same. So first coordinate is x1, y1 and last coordinate must be the same as per the norms of the closed traverse. Beginning and the end stations are similar. And now you want to cross multiply like x1, y2, x2, y3, x3, y4, x4, y5 and x5, y1, and like this y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4, x5 and finally y5, x1. So here lies summation p. Now you can clearly understand that what is summation p actually. Summation p is, so therefore according to my last notation, that is the sum of all the cross multiplied values between x and y. Now so it is x times x1 times y2 plus, you can put a second bracket here. So here now this is x2 y3 plus x3 y4 and so on, finally x5 y1, second bracket closed. This is how we can calculate summation p. Now summation q, what is summation q then? Summation q will be second bracket open, then it will start definitely from y because it starts from y. So y1 x2 plus y2 x3 plus y3 x4 and whatever be the number of points, finally we have to multiply y5 and x1, then finally second bracket close. Now you will get summation p and summation q, and following these calculation you can finally calculate the area of the traverse. So area of the traverse will give you, the actual area of the traverse will give you half of the difference between summation p and summation q. So this is the actual theoretical issue. Now if we replicate this same with the values, because by GNSS device, what we get there? We get the coordinates, x and y coordinates. So by getting those x and y coordinates, x means easting and y means northing. And you know all that x is represented by 6-digit values. If you derive those data in UTM projection, and y is represented by 7-digit values. Clear? So there is a combination. So x is a 7-digit value whenever it is expressed in meters, distance in meters, and y is represented by a 6-digit values. Now that can be calculated by using Excel, but I will make you understand later. But now here I will take a simple example to calculate the actual area. This is theoretical one. The equations have been derived. Now following these equations, you can calculate the actual area of any traverse like this. Now here we can calculate taking the actual area of a particular traverse with an hypothetical example like this one. Suppose this is an hypothetical closed traverse. This is again A, B, C, D, and this is E. Now here, as you know, these are all the points. These are all the points for which you have already recorded your data in GNSS device. This is a particular waypoint, another waypoint. These are all the waypoints actually. And waypoints all are having a particular specific value of easting and particular specific value of northing, that represented by x and y coordinate system. So this is easting value and this is again northing value. Now we will calculate the area with a particular specific coordinate. Like this one is a combination of x and y. Again, this is a combination of x and y. So for example, I am taking a simple example like this is 1, 2, 3, say for example 4. To avoid criticality in calculation, I am avoiding just the decimal figures. I am taking just only the round values. So this is 1, this is 2, say for example this is 4, 5 and 6. Now A is the combination of coordinate 1 and this is 5. So A is represented by 1 and 5 coordinate. B is represented by what? B is represented by 3 and 6. C is represented by 6 and here comes 4. So this is 4. And D is represented by what of x? 4 of x and 1 of y. And E is represented by 2 of x and 2 of y. So these are the actual coordinate values we have taken from the data. So these are the specific waypoints. Say for example, I am taking only the last digit. What you have collected from the field, I am taking only the last digit. So last digit of 6-digit values, this is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and last digit of 7-digit northing value, that is 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. Now again following the same equation, that is summation P minus summation Q, we can calculate the area actually, what it is enclosed by this particular traverse. It is a very small area. As you see from this data, it is a very small area. So it will give you in square meter. So like here, if you want to cross multiply, here you have to again put this 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and finally it is 6. And again 1 have to be copied according to the norms of the closed traverse. Then again this is x. These are the x values. Now these are the y values starting from 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and again you have to copy the first value or x value, a y value into the last cell. Now this is cross multiplication. You have to do this particular type of work. Now summation p is equal to, so 1 times 2 plus 2 times 4 plus 3 times 5 plus 4 times 6 and finally 6 times 1 and second bracket open. So it will give you 2 times 1 means 2 plus 8 plus 15 plus 24 and finally 6. You have to add all those. These are the products of cross multiplication and you have to add those to get the summation p. Now 2 plus 8 10, 15 25 plus 24 49 plus 6 is equal to 55. So 55, what will be its unit? Because we know easting is represented by meter and again northing is also represented by meters. Distance, that is meter. So it will be, as it is the product of cross multiplication, so it will give you meter square. So the unit will be the meter square. Next again summation q is equal to y. It is represented by y. So it is 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 6 plus 6 times 1. So what will you get? Now this is 2 plus 6 plus 16 plus 30 plus 6, isn't it? So this is, ultimately you get 2 plus 6 8, 16 24, 30 54 and 6. So it is 6 means ultimately what we will get? 30, 16 46, 46 6 46 and 6 52 54 and 6 60, isn't it? So 60 meter square means it will be positive because these are all in square. Now what we will get? Then again summation p by representing, by substituting the values we get summation p minus summation q or half of that actual area is equal to half summation p minus summation q or whatever, summation q minus summation p, whatever, just difference between these two. Ignore the symbols. So this is 55 minus 60 meter square is equal to half of, here you will get minus 5 meter square. So this will ultimately 2.5 meter square. This is only the difference between these two. Clear? So just ignore these, all are positive values. Just ignore any negative value, whatever it results, it is the only the difference between these two. Just ignore it. So this is your the answer. It is the actual area of this particular traverse, whatever we, this enclosed area. So this particular task can be calculated, as it is a very simple example. That's why it is the calculation is looks like very easy. Whenever the number of sides of the polygon becomes large and the values you have to consider 7-digit and 6-digit values, so therefore the calculation will become so much tedious, you can't calculate manually. So then for those particular situations, you have to apply the Excel format. So in next class, I will make you understand how calculation can be done in Microsoft Excel. Okay. Thank you, everybody.